Just yesterday, we're celebrating the 102nd NEC meeting of the PDP and thinking, things finally are starting to look up. But it will seem that the crisis in the PDP may not be over yet, as a group called the Joint Action Committee of Northern Youth Association, JACON, has rejected the People's Democratic Party's decision to zone its 2027 presidential ticket to the South, describing the move as unjust, undemocratic, and a betrayal of the North's decades-long loyalty to the party.
They argue that while the South has held the PDP presidency for over 13 years, the North has only had 2.5 years. And now they say the North has been sidelined again. Join us this morning to unpack this development as Chieftain of the PDP, Adai, Edwin, Adai. A warm welcome to you and good morning.
Good morning, News Central. Thank you for having me.
Now let's get straight into it. This Northern Youth Group has recently decried the move by the PDP following its NEC that zoning its 2027 ticket to the South. It describes the action as a betrayal of decades of loyalty to the region of the party. Do you agree that the North has been used for votes and denied leadership? Do you see what's your take on this zoning arrangement?
Well, first and foremost, thank you once again for having me on the platform. Yeah, in respect to the agitation or the declaration by the Northern youth leaders who, of course, have every reason to express their opinion, because in democracy, it is clearly stated that the majority will have their way and the minority will have their say. Yes, they may have good reason to express their opinion on the ground that if you look at the 16 years that the PDP had ruled this country, among those number of years, like you rightly pointed out, they not only had 2 years and all of that, but the PDP is a very big political party. We are nationalistic in view. And then we need to take everything into consideration when making this kind of critical decision. And I think it is in the wisdom of the leadership of the party this time around, the National Executive Committee, which of course is the most revered, most respected, most highest organ, lower than the convention, they have come together and said, look, we have set up a committee led by the governor, the present governor of Bayelsa State, to look into the critical issues and, of course, look at what has happened in the past so that we can have a comprehensive zoning arrangement where there will be no agitation. And, of course, that committee, in their wisdom, which comprises party leaders from the 36 states of the People's Democratic Party, highly respected, highly revered leaders of the party, men of integrity, men of capacity, they all came together to say, look, we need to strengthen this party. We need to do the right thing. We need to look at the bigger picture, not the political party internal issues. Because, of course, political decisions of this magnitude, you need to take so many things into consideration, especially the view of the country as a whole. And on that ground, the leadership of the party has deemed it fit to say, look, because of the expressions from different quarters, I think it is apparent and very fundamental for us to zone the party presidential ticket to the South, which of course, when you look at the whole thing holistically from the very broader perspective, I think is the right step in the right direction.
All right. But in all of this, something stands out, and what stands out is the clarity that the current FCT minister, who was then the former governor of Rivers State, had highlighted this reason or reasons why it should be given to the north, to the south, I beg your pardon. And he made this clear, but it seems like it was ignored, himself and of course the G5 movement. So now that you're saying that indeed NEC meeting has indeed said it should be moved to the south, is it in any way showing that maybe the PDP could have listened to former River State governor, now the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, and now that you're moving into the South, are you expecting that you would get the full support of those who are from the South, but you're ready to lose the North, especially part of the North who are not in support?
Well, first and foremost, let me correct an impression here, because there are certain misinformation that is on the public space, which of course, as a party leader, it behoves on us to correct such misinformation. Number one, it is not the idea or the philosophy of the FCT minister or the leadership of the party to zone the presidency to the South. In the aftermath of the 2019 general election, a committee was set up, headed by the present governor of Bauchi State. And the secretary of that committee was Dr. Emmanuel Agbo, who of course is the director general of the PDP Governors Forum presently. That committee actually met. A wide consultation was undertaken in that respect, and the committee came up with a resolution. I said, because of the present state of the party, and as a leading opposition in the country, it will be wise that the leadership of the party to throw the ticket open. And you know, at that particular point, the leadership of the party, we are not looking at the zoning arrangement, or even though it's critical in the party principle. What we are actually looking at that particular point in time, before the 2023 general election, was the credibility and the potency and the quality of the candidate we are presenting. And in the wisdom of the party and in line with the recommendation of that committee, it was stated very clearly in that committee that we should throw the presidency open, because at that particular point in time, the party were not really looking at the zoning arrangement to either North or South. We are looking for the best candidate who has the gravitas, who has the name, who can actually deepen the penetration of the party down to the grassroots level. And it is upon that premise that the leadership of the party decided to throw the ticket open. Unfortunately for the former Vice President, His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, he picked the ticket. So it's democracy. The people made that decision. And therefore, if one person said, okay, he's the one who is pushing that agenda, I don't think it's correct. The People's Democratic Party believes in democratic principle. And therefore, it cannot be an opinion or an ideal of one person. It is a collective decision of the party as at that time when that decision was taken, within the party level.
All right. I think my next question would be, now that we've seen these northern youths disagree with the position of the party regarding zoning, I want to ask if this decision was made taking into consideration the standpoint of the North, where the northern stakeholders involved in this decision-making process. Where would you say the fault lies? They maybe fail to transmit the decision to that of the younger ones to also gain their support, as they also are legitimate PDP members?
Well, first and foremost, like I said earlier on, the PDP is a very strong political party. We have quality leaders from the military background, or the academic background. We have a very robust youth structure, and we also have a support group that is very vibrant and alive. And I know the character and the nature of the People's Democratic Party, as it were. I know that the northern youth who, of course, are expressing their view, they have a point, of course. We don't downplay people's expression when it comes to political matters of this magnitude. But I can assure you that, just like I told you before, that the PDP will always get stronger and stronger by the day. Yes, there is a place where we call the negotiation table within the political party. And don't forget that the PDP has a very strong internal conflict resolution mechanism. We're going to call them to the negotiation table, and then we're going to explain the rationale behind why the leadership of the party decided to take that critical decision. And I do know that with the nature and the quality of how we behave within the internal system of the party, and I know that they will actually have reasons to identify with the party in the long run. So there is no conflict of interest at all. The PDP is one big family, and I believe the NWC in their own wisdom will call them together. They just need more information. They need to be talked to. They need to be educated properly to understand why the leadership of the party decided to take that decision. So there is no cause for alarm at all.
Now, some have argued that there's a school of thought that believes that zoning promotes national unity. But if one region feels perpetually shortchanged, doesn't that undermine the very essence and principle of equity? Though many have also said that if the PDP had not zoned its ticket to the south, that would have been the complete alienation of the party. Because remember what happened in the last elections. At the back of 8 years governance of late President Muhammadu Buhari, a northerner, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, got the ticket to contest under the banner of the PDP. So what do you make of this equity debate and also the balance?
Yeah, thank you very much for that very significant question. You know, there is something about the principle of democracy. Yes, the principle of democracy advocates a majoritarian government. Yes, the principle of democracy advocates for equity. Yes, the principle of democracy advocates for transparency. And therefore, the principle of democracy advocates for transparency. We all know. But you see, there is another fundamental key issue about this democracy that is so loving that we as a country have adopted. Democracy has never promised that everybody will always be on the same page. It never says so. It talks about the majority. And therefore, when the majority in their wisdom take a decision, it behoves on this, smaller group or people who have personal opinion to understand that, yes, the principle of democracy talk about the majority. And therefore, it behoves on them to understand that the character and the nature of democracy is at play. It has nothing to do with undermining, their interests. It has nothing to do with undermining or say there is no equity or there is no equality in the People's Democratic Party. That is not what the principle of democracy has guaranteed. It talks about majority. And therefore, as a party leader and somebody who is very knowledgeable about the philosophies of the People's Democratic Party, the majority of the People's Democratic Party has taken the decision, and therefore that decision is binding. What we are even talking about right now is how to work on modalities to see how we elect new members of the NWC in our subsequent convention. I think that is most paramount to us now. But of course, for the aggrieved, we'll have a way to reach out to them to see to it that they come to terms with the interests and the decision of the majority.
Speaking about the convention that is scheduled to happen towards the end of the year, there's been significant pushback against the convention. But we also hear that there's another meeting scheduled to be held sometime in October. So can you walk us through what the expectations are from this meeting in October as well as the convention later in Ibadan?
Well, what I can tell you right now as a party leader is that, number one, Nigerians should understand that the People's Democratic Party is a very formidable political party. Like I told you earlier on, the last time I had a conversation with you on this platform, I liken the PDP like a political party with 9 lives. It's unkillable. The spirit of the People's Democratic Party is greater than every individual. And therefore, right now, as I speak to you, as a member of the political party, we have set up different committees. We have the zoning committee that is working right now. The convention committee is working. The NEC is working. The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party are working. And wide consultation is going on. So you're going to see a new energy in the party. You're going to see a new concept, a new philosophy, an addition to the manifesto of the party, an addition to the ethics of the party. We're going to instill discipline. We're going to ensure that a lot of issues that borders on conflict of interest is resolved. So better days are ahead, and subsequently you're going to see some of these events unfolding in some of the meetings. But of course, there are certain issues that I cannot disclose right now because it is still within the cocoon of the political party.
Let me borrow your words, in the cocoon of the political party, but inside that cocoon, as it were, would you agree that the PDP will equally be towing the same line it towed a few weeks ago, where it had literally asked a former member to return to the party? I'm talking about Mr. Peter Gregory Obi. And aside that, is the PDP also looking to be a force to reckon with ahead of the 2027 elections? Because pretty much it seems like there's no preferred candidate yet since Atiku Abubakar has left.
Well, let me answer this question this way. You know, the People's Democratic Party, like I said, I think the question, I didn't hear that question very well. I didn't really get that question because the line is blinking. If you can repeat that question.
Okay, so the question is, one, the PDP, is it going to be a force to reckon with in 2027, seeing that you've lost some of your members, they've left the party? Okay, go ahead with that.
Yes, of course. The People's Democratic Party has always been a force. It's not that it's going to be a force. We are the leading opposition political party in Nigeria today. And get that correctly. We are not sorting, or we are not looking for a candidate to fill. We have quality men all around in the People's Democratic Party. We have men of capacity. We have men who understood governance, who understood politics. Yes, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar may be out. But of course, like I said, as we always say, the umbrella is very big, very, very big, very, very big to accommodate everybody. And therefore, I know that for a fact that the leadership of the party are talking with Peter Obi. And of course, the leadership of the party are also talking to President Goodluck Jonathan and other critical leaders, you know, within the political party. Definitely, I can assure Nigerians that at the appropriate time, you're going to see a very vibrant political party that you know. So there is no cause for alarm. We are very, very ready, and it is important to reassure Nigerians that we are going to be a political party to beat in the 2027 general election.
All right, and I mean, slightly away from the PDP, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has announced his intention to run for office. And now he's not running under the PDP, he's not running under your umbrella. He's going to be running, maybe if he does get the ticket to the ADC. How do you react to this?
Well, you see, because of personal relationship that I have with His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and so many leaders in that party, like my political mentor, His Excellency, the former President of the Senate, David Mark, and so many leaders who, of course, have left the left the PDP to ADC. I can say that it's rather unfortunate. I can say that that decision was not well thought out, with all due respect, and I believe that. Like I had a conversation with some of the leaders of the Board of Trustees and some of the founding fathers. They told me categorically that the umbrella is, the party is still open, and they are looking forward to seeing that they will reach out to His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and David Mark and the host of others who have left the party. The PDP is now becoming a peaceful home and has become a peaceful home. So the reason why they left the party in the first place, which is the leadership squabble, that happens within the party, has been resolved. So there is no moral justification whatsoever for them to still remain or migrate to any political party. The PDP is one big family, is their home. And of course, some of them are founding fathers of the party. You cannot build a house and say, oh, because you're having issues, and then you are moving to another place, you are abandoning the house that you have built. So as a young man, I am trying to use this opportunity to appeal to them to reconsider their decision, to see what they can do to come back home, because it's their home, they built it, and therefore we are ready to welcome them back to the People's Democratic
So
Party.
if you welcome him back, if you welcome him back to the People's Democratic Party, would you then give him the opportunity to run?
I did not see future. I did not see future in the ADC. So it is better for them to come back home and, of course, to return where they really belong to, which is the People's Democratic Party.
My question is, if you, like you're saying, the house is open, the doors are open for them to return. If Alhaji Atiku Abubakar should return to the PDP and become family again, what about his interest to run for presidency? Will the PDP still give him another shot now that he's been zoned to this house?
No, listen. If our name is the People's Democratic Party, nobody can take a unanimous decision in the PDP. If he comes back to the party, I am very sure that they will give him the waiver. I am very, very sure of that. The PDP is a very lovely political party that respects their elders, that respect the founding fathers. I can assure you that as long as if he expresses interest, even though the presidency is on to the north, I can tell you that they will still self-form to him. It's a democracy. It's democracy, and therefore the principle of democracy must be practiced in its entirety. And I can tell you, even though the presidency is on to the north, to the south, as the case it is now, the form is still open. We are not going to restrict anybody from buying the presidential nomination form. If by the wisdom of the delegate and decided to say, okay, we are going to vote a northerner, we don't have a choice. That we zone it is because we believe that that is the right thing to do. But that does not undermine or restrict anybody from buying the presidential nomination form from any region. That is not the principle of democracy as practiced by the People's Democratic Party. If you recall, even in the formation of the party in 1998, 1999, you remember that even the presidency at that time was zoned to the south, where Obasanjo picked the ticket. The likes of Abubakar Rimi expressed interest and he contested. Nobody stopped him. So the fact is that, yes, majority will have their way, the minority will have their say. It's democracy. It's not an autocratic or a totalitarian administration. And therefore, the house is open and we are going to welcome anybody. And everybody also will be given the opportunity to aspire, regardless of the zoning arrangement.
Okay, so finally, I think my final question would be, can we say now that the troubles of the PDP are officially over? Absolutely, absolutely. It's 100% over. The energy of the party is back. The leadership of the party is happy. We are going into convention now. The disciplinary committee have taken a decision. The zoning committee is working. And therefore, I can tell you for a fact that, yes, the People's Democratic Party is back. Yes, the People's Democratic Party will be better off in the nearest future. I can tell Nigerians that we are back and better. And of course, we are going to see a new political party full of energy, full of vigor, ready to lead Nigeria once again.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking with us. We'll look forward to see all of these things come to fruition. And hopefully, this would lead to more conversations, especially with the one who would represent the PDP ahead of 2027. It's been a wonderful conversation. Thanks for your time, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.